Today we're going to be talking about umbrella structures for contractors. Hello, welcome back to our channel and podcast. My name is Gemma and here at WS we talk about all things relating to money, mortgages and positive money mindset. So if that interests you, then be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the thumbs up. It really helps with our YouTube algorithm and means that you won't miss out on any of our videos. On today's episode of Let's Talk Money and Mortgages, we have Sajant here with us. Sajant is our WIS Umbrella Manager who is going to be talking about the latest umbrella information for all of you. So hi Sajant, how are you doing today?
Hi Gemma, thank you for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been seeing all the episodes previously.
Yeah, good. Well, pleasure to have you. So today's video is all about umbrella structures. So let's get into it. So the first question that I have for you, Sajant, is how does umbrella contracting work?
So Gemma, in its very simplest for a contractor, what happens with an umbrella company is that they become an employee of the umbrella company. The relationship that the contractor has is the employee-employer relationship. And the umbrella company, effectively, what they do is process the payrolls and they have to make sure that they pay the right taxes to HMRC. So in its simplest, that's what an umbrella company does.
Okay, so then what's the process? How do you join an umbrella company?
Now, to make things a bit easier, for example, if you were the contractor, how it would work is now, say, for example, you're happy to join with WIS Umbrella. What would happen is we would speak to your agency and your agency would provide us with an agency contract. We would pass that over to you to review and you would probably have to see, the discussed day rate that you had with the agency, your start date, end dates, things like termination clauses. And once you have reviewed that and let us know, then one of our directors at WIS will sign across the contract and send it back to the agency. Now, once that process is done, the next part would be for us to provide an employment contract to the contractor. And the employment contract that we provide is called an overarching employment contract. So what an overarching employment contract is, it's your standard employment contract, but since you're having a temporary workplace arrangement, it will mimic those terms into this and have that incorporated into our employment contract. You will also get your contractor's assignment schedule also attached with that. And once you have signed that across, you're fully onboarded with WIS and then you do your usual work with your end client. And at the end of the period, say for example at the end of the month, you've done your work with your end client, you have to just send us your approved timesheets to us, and using that, we will raise the invoice to your agency. Once your agency pays us, on that same day, we will process your salary and pay it to your personal bank account.
Okay, so my next question, I'm wondering, why would a contractor choose to work through an umbrella company? What's the main benefit of this?
So the options that you have right now is you either go permanent and work permanently with the end client. Another option is umbrella. And effectively, if your contract was outside Ir35, then you had the option of using your limited company. The thing with an umbrella company is that if you're comparing benefits over a limited company, big advantage that you get is you have less admin work to do. With a limited company, you have to have all these administrations in place, do the accounts and all that stuff. So you don't have those obligations when you're with an umbrella. It's very straightforward, payroll processing. You only have to submit in your timesheets once a month or once a week, depending on the agreement that you have with the agency. So that's the advantage that you have over using a limited company. Obviously, it has its disadvantages in terms of, the tax. Now, with the umbrella company, there are specific taxes that has to be paid out. So, for example, you have your company taxes in terms of employer's NI, apprentice levy that gets paid out, as well as your income tax and your employee NI. So these are the four main types of taxes that get paid out through the umbrella company, whereas with your limited company you have flexibilities in terms of how you get to withdraw your salary, how you want to withdraw dividends. You're able to have a control over it, whereas with the umbrella company you don't have that particular control. So that's the cost benefit analysis that you could look into this.
Yeah, okay. So now let's talk about some assumptions. So what does a contractor need to be aware of when taking an illustration from an umbrella?
That's a really good question, because a lot of contractors, they tend to ask a lot of umbrella companies for assumptions, and then they see different umbrella companies give different amounts. The thing is, at the end of the day, if the umbrella company is legitimate, at the end of the day, they would see the same amount. The only difference that they would see is the margin that the umbrella company charges. That's only variability with illustrations. If we put the right assumptions in place for each umbrella company, you would effectively get the same amount. So the two major assumptions that contractors should look out for is, one, the number of days that they work. So say, for example, if they work a higher number of days that particular month, the salary would increase. So the number of days is very important when contractors look out for illustrations. And the second important thing is the tax code. So tax code, there are two major tax codes that you could look at. One is called the 1257L tax code, and the other one is a 0T tax code. To explain 1257L to the audience here as well, say for example, if your gross income for the year is under £100,000, then you're eligible to claim your personal allowance, and the calculation is based on that. So if you believe that your total income for the year is under £100,000 and you have no other income, then the right tax code for you would be 1257L. Now say for example, if your total income for the year is above £100,000, what will happen is, for every £2 that you earn above £100,000, £1 of your personal allowance starts to reduce, and effectively on that personal allowance amount you need to start paying the taxes. So if you believe that your income is above £100,000, the most accurate tax code for you to look at is the 0T tax code, which will take into account the reduction of your personal allowance, and that would give you a more accurate number for you to look at. Those two are the major assumptions that you probably want to look at when you get an illustration from an umbrella company.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about expenses. Is it still possible to claim expenses when you're inside an umbrella? How does it work?
So back in 2016, HMRC introduced a rule called SDC. So what SDC stands for is supervision, direction, and control. So if you're affected by supervision, direction, and control from your end client, you can't claim any expenses. So this actually correlates the clauses with IR35 as well. So supervision, direction, and control are three major clauses that are used to evaluate whether you're inside or outside IR35 as well. If you're affected by any of these clauses, you can't claim any expenses. The only thing that is allowed is investments into pensions. So there are two types of pensions that the contractor needs to be aware of. There is your workplace pension, and then you can do a private pension contribution. So workplace pension, there will be an employee contribution as well as an employer contribution. But with the case of an umbrella company, what happens is, even though the umbrella says it's an employer's contribution, it actually comes out from your own pocket. So from the umbrella income that we get, it's paid through that. So even if an umbrella company says, okay, we give you an employer's contribution, it doesn't mean that the umbrella company is going to put funds from their own pocket and pay it. It's going to come from your own pocket. So that's something that all contractors need to be aware of. And the second thing about workplace pension is it only goes to a pension provider of their choice, the pension provider that the umbrella is registered with. Now the thing is, with WIS umbrella, what we do is we allow private pension contribution as well. So what this means is the contractor has the flexibility of deciding which pension provider they want to invest into. And the advantage of this is, one, you get to choose a lucrative pension provider of your own choice. Second thing is, you get to decide how much you want to invest each month. It doesn't have to be a fixed rate.
Oh, that's good
And
then.
the third advantage is you get to save on taxes at source.
And everybody likes to save on taxes, don't they?
That's right, that's right. But it's very important for the contractor to identify when to invest into pensions as well. Say, for example, depending on your day rate, depending on the length of your contract, you may want to decide on how much you want to contribute, and you may want to get a professional advice on that as well before putting a contribution on that. But in terms of tax implications and things like that, our contractors are always free to get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to explain on how much taxes they would be saving and things like that. If any of our contractors are interested in this, please do get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to help out on this.
Oh, thank you. So if the umbrella offers a higher take-home via offshore companies, should we use that umbrella or not?
Oh, I would recommend the contractors to stay far away as they can from that. The main reason is it's a tax avoidance scheme. And what happens is, when umbrellas, offer you an 80% take home or a 90% take home, you're effectively going into a tax avoidance scheme. It's very important to note that the final tax responsibility lays with the contractor, not with the umbrella company. And if anything does happen, the contractor will be liable for that. It's very important that all our contractors do their due diligence and make sure that the umbrella company pay out all the relevant taxes to HMRC. The easiest way to check this out is by checking if your umbrella provides a reconciliation report. What this payment summary form or reconciliation report does is shows a transparent way of what the income the umbrella company gets, what are the employer deductions that happens, what our margin is, what's the income tax that we're paying, what's the employee NI. All of those will be mentioned on that particular form there.
Yeah, because I suppose it would be the worst if they were held liable for taxes which they thought they paid, which they haven't paid, because
That's
later
correct.
on that kind of gets you, doesn't
That's
it?
right.
Okay, so then if I'm a contractor and I'm deciding between different umbrella companies, what are the benefits of working with us here at WIS?
The thing is, with WIS, we're predominantly an accountancy company. So when you speak to us, you get the tax advice along with it. We explain to you exactly what are the tax advice. The other thing is we take our time with each and every client call that we get. A call generally lasts for 45 minutes because we explain to the contractor of what are the implications that they need to look at, what are the things that they need to take into consideration. And the very most important thing with us is that we're very transparent with the way we work. The other thing is, if you go and see our reviews, a lot of contractors say that we're very prompt in our response. So generally, if we get an email within 5 to 10 minutes, you'll probably see a response from our end as well. And we have a personal touch with our contractors. And beyond that, WIS as a group, we're a one-stop shop for financial services. So if our contractor requires a mortgage, we have mortgage services that we provide to our contractors. We provide insurances, we provide investment advice, and obviously we have accountancy service. So, any service that the contractor requires, it's all in one place and everything is streamlined. You get everything very promptly done. Those are some of the advantages. And beyond that, we also do provide employee benefits to our contract employees. We
That's
do
a
same-day
reward
payments.
scheme, right? I think I've seen something
That's
about
right.
the reward scheme that we're running.
That's right. So we recently introduced a reward scheme for all our contract employees. And there are nearly 4,500 stores where you can get discounts. And you also get access to a virtual GP free of charge. There's a fuel card that you can apply for. There are, numerous rewards that the employee could look at. Beyond that, we also do same-day payments. So, once we get paid from your agency, on that same day, you'll get your salary paid to your account. So you won't see any lag on your salary. You get paid everything same day. You get an email confirmation from our end, when everything gets paid.
Thank you, Sujant, for that great advice. I just wanted to put a reminder out there that these points may or may not be applicable to all contractors. So please do talk to an accountant if you're unsure whether these suggestions are suitable to you. If you don't have an accountant, I will leave our WS contact details below, as we are always happy to help. Thank you again for joining us today. We will be back next week with another episode of Let's Talk Money and Mortgages. Have a great day, stay safe, and we'll see you again soon.